talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They don't know basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. We are coming to you right now, Sunday night, stuffed full of desserts. At least I'm speaking for myself. Gorging. It's a big sports day. I've watched 2 basketball games. I'm gonna watch another after we record. And there's Sunday Night Football. The Ravens are playing the Browns. Go Ravens! So I'm over here cozy as fuck. We interrupted our little cozy Sunday to make sure you motherfuckers had something in your inbox, something in your fucking not inbox, but in your fucking podcast app Monday morning. So we got a lot of fun basketball shit to discuss. Sam, you're looking cozy as a bitch over there in that robe. I'm jealous, dude.
I love it. Yeah, I guess this was like the height of the pandemic. I was sad. I was looking at robes online. I was like, let me hit Etsy. I've never done Etsy. I'm gonna do it.
Etsy.
I wanted a real like cool, comfy, silky robe. There's a lot of guy ones that you're like, oh, they want you to get those like PJs. I'm like, I don't want to look like fucking 1950s advertising guy in PJs. I want to be a fucking dude.
You want to look like
smoking robe.
You want to look like 1950s guy cheating on his wife, not at all with his wife. That's the look you're going for. You want Don Draper sneaking into the village in the late 50s.
Yes.
Instead of being in fucking where does he live? Like fucking upstate or something?
I want Draper season 2. That's what I'm going for.
Absolutely.
I'm not going for season 1 or season 4.
No.
I want before the hard crash. That's kind of what I'm going for.
One of the best things in the world is always the beginning of a relapse. There's nothing. The beginning of shit falling apart is the best feeling there ever is. If there was a way, and that's why people think they can maintain that because it feels so good. But luckily you get a little piece of that by buying that man's robe without living that man's life. So respect to you.
I know I have an alcohol problem because I will watch like old movies and they're drinking. I'm like, I should drink. Like you find any excuse.
Yeah. They really do drink in every scene. They're just drinking at lunch. They're drinking, they're drinking at like the bus station. Like everywhere you went had a full bar in a black and white movie. It's like some guys getting like a hot dog and the guy's like, "Would you like a whiskey, sir?"
Every detective was drunk for some reason. Which, by the way, like, can you imagine if detectives were drunk now? Like people don't hate cops enough right now. Yeah. Can you imagine if they're like, "Yeah, I'll have a whiskey while I'm arresting this black man right here. Nothing will go wrong here."
Yeah. That is true. They say I feel like now cops are they just move all the alcoholism to after their shift.
Yes.
I feel like they're
off the clock, a little more responsible.
Yeah.
But then they'll probably do an extra damage. I mean, the thing about drinking all the time is you're never that fucked up. It becomes just like kind of part of your routine.
That's crazy. I've actually never heard of cops to be like loose cannons or wild cards in their personal lives. You think that happens? You think they maybe get drunk and don't appreciate a backhanded comment from their wives, and maybe something happens as a result?
I think that's not the only backhanded thing going on that evening, if you ask me. I watched Laura last night with Taylor. We're cruising through that Criterion channel. There's so much good shit on there, dude.
What's Laura? I don't know.
That's one of the best film noirs ever. It's Dana Andrews. Nice. It's one of the Otto Preminger ones. It's fucking phenomenal. Nice. So many funny lines. It's just great script. So.
Yeah, I was cruising through what the fuck was going on? Where I was I sick or something? What the fuck? Was it just the pandemic?
You were sick, and I think you were really sick.
I was really sick, and I've had a couple times where I was just cruising through the Criterion Neo Noir collection. Yeah.
It's fucking fun, dude.
It's great. It's really good shit. But yeah, now I can't. I enjoy crushing movies too much, and it just like that's the thing. I love a holiday, but it's so hard to like this is what always happens to me because it's like Thanksgiving wasn't even that bad, but then it's like Friday, and I'm like, I can have I can have a little more dessert, and it's like, and it's just today is like there's not even leftovers in my home. I I went to a restaurant, and it's like, I just ordered, because I'm just in that mindset. So I'm like, yeah, let me order a fucking, this specific sandwich from this place, this Italian deli, and then let me fucking, a milkshake. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm in holiday mindset, and it's like tomorrow I have to get up and just do a bunch of work, and I'm just like, I don't think I have it in me. I don't think I have it in me to just snap back to, I'm just going to get lost into this. I so easily descend into just getting fucked up, and it's especially because like our life really truly lends itself to that. We could just behave this way for 10 years and it would not, we wouldn't be as successful as we could, but we would be fine if we were just.
You don't hear a lot about comic interventions.
Yeah.
You don't see it. There aren't a lot of comedians who are like, you have to get your life together. You're like, yeah, dude, you're wearing a backpack. You think you're going to tell me I have to get my fucking life together? Screw.
Yeah.
We so easily can descend into just madness with this lifestyle. It's dangerous.
Exactly. So I'm tomorrow. I really gotta fucking get up early to get a little fucking grocery shopping and go to the fucking gym. Get it all out of my fucking system. Whatever dessert is in my home tonight is going in the trash. That's the pact I made with myself. It's got to go. I got some bread pudding left over.
You could give it to someone. You give it to like a homeless guy or something.
It can't. Maybe a homeless guy, but I can't let it. Maybe I'll go wander the streets of Astoria at midnight and be like, bread pudding, anyone?
It's a different breed of homeless. So they just beat the shit out of you. You're like, I'm trying to give you food.
I'm trying to give you dessert that I'm too fat to keep in my home. This is
dude. I know the feeling of like it does. For me, it's really like alcohol. It's really like I'm proud of myself when I don't drink, and I've been not drinking a lot lately. Like leaving the cellar last night, I was like, should I order like a scotch or something? And then I just didn't. I was like, good for me. Which is like you shouldn't be patting yourself on the back for not drinking straight
it's
alcohol.
So funny. Totally. It's so funny when we are how our habits are like just mirror each other. Because I failed at the cellar yesterday because I had the feeling of like, should I order some chicken wings real fast? And I got them. And I was just like, I'm having that. I was like, yeah, I'll have some chicken. Oh, dude, it was brutal. So I have the chicken wings, and then I'm running to my other spot. And I had because I tried to jumpstart the health thing yesterday, and it failed. It was like a false start. But before I left the house,
cellar
I was like,
wings, though, dude, those are tough. They're really good wings.
They're truly the best wings in New York that I've had. I would say they're that good. They're literally, and that's not hyperbole. That's not just me sucking off the olive tree as a restaurant. It's truly so good.
They have good food there,
and I'm a big wings guy. That's not some things are sacred to me, Sam. Even more so than my career. It's
wings.
It's wings. Yeah, it's having the right opinion on wings. The wings community is important to me.
It is important.
But so I tried to jumpstart. My health. So I'm like, I'm gonna have a big smoothie before I leave the house because it's filling, it's healthy. I'll have some energy. I had a couple spots I gotta run around. I won't be tempted to eat, but I had a little downtime. I ordered those wings. And I'm like, okay, just one thing, no big deal. And I'm like, I'm doing this. And I'm like, I'm going to walk to my next spot. It's like a 25-minute walk. And as I'm walking, and it's very clear that I have made a fucking huge error because this smoothie was already battling whatever was already in my body from before. And it's got the wings. It's like on either side of it, it's battling two horrific things.
Good versus evil. A fight as old as time.
It was fucking, and I'm just like fucking waddling from the village, just like waddling. I run to my next spot. The bathroom is right next to like where the bar is. So it's like there's like people waiting in line. I'm just like, oh dear God. I hope no one. First, I'm like, I hope no one's in here, and then as soon as no one was in there, but then I'm like, oh, there's just like 6 cute women just happen to be right by the door, and I am letting loose. I mean, Hiroshima level bombs in this in this bathroom, dude. It is like I'm like lifting off the toilet.
Well, like Hiroshima, did it at least lead to temporary peace or what?
Yeah, there was
What happened?
Yeah, there was temporary peace. There was temporary peace for sure. Although there were some skirmishes broke out back home, but fine. We did get everything.
That's so funny. It happened to me at
Under
the cellar
control.
like a week prior. I was there and I was talking to Esty, the booker, and we're walking, and I just kind of like disappeared mid conversation. My stomach was that bad that
Yeah.
I had to like wait for an old Israeli woman to get distracted
Yeah.
and run down to take a shit at the Village Underground.
Oh, at
And
least
then-
it's the Village Underground. There's more.
Yeah. Oh
toilets.
my. No, I made it. I mean,
Yeah.
I led the walk in that direction.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
started the conversation on McDougal.
Yeah.
I made a left. I was like, I ain't
gotta
going
go
in that
around the
little
corner.
dingy bathroom.
Yeah.
I made sure to get a private stall.
Good for you.
I mean, it was horror. It sucks when you take Pepto and those little tablets don't do shit for me. I need the liquid or death.
Yeah. No, dude, you just become immune to it. It's the kind. It's like. It's just like we've been. It's like, you know. It's like after. It's like Brett Favre with the pain pills, or like Rush Limbaugh with pain pills. At first, a couple oxys will do it, and then by the time you know, you're just gargling the whole fucking bottle. That's us with Pepto at this point. We've tried to coax so many like horrible like comedy meals and drinks. We've tried to solve it with Pepto. That
By the way, you could have kept that going with Brett Favre and Rush Limbaugh with like any pills.
Yeah.
It could have been like dick pills. That could have gone on for like 10 minutes.
That's true. That's true.
Dude, I'm in my rider. It's so funny. I get to like the store. I'm not the Gramercy Theater. When I did that one night, they're like, "What's in your rider again?" They're texting me. I'm like, "Oh, it's like really just like Pepto Bismol and Negronis."
Yeah.
It's really like, "What's in my rider?" And they're like, "Wow, this is a very contradictory."
You're trying to play Mr. Fucking Classy with a Negroni, and it's like
I like
would-
what? Yeah, I like to have a nice cocktail before if I
Sure.
can, but you know, I mean, look, there's no denying who I am. That's what
Of
the
course.
Pepto is there.
Of course, yeah. Respect. That's your higher self and your lower self. It's like your
Oh my
aspiration.
God.
Your aspirations is the Negroni. You want to be the cool guy in the smoking jacket, but at the end of the day, you're the guy with the hoodie with fucking ice cream all over it, and you're shitting yourself before
Let's be
your
real.
spot. Yeah.
No, dude, it's disgusting, and it's not always Negroni, but that was a nice little gig. You want to have your cocktail. Also, I was on 1 hour sleep. I need a drink. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Coffee,
no.
the coffee to booze transition I've really mastered on the road. When you
I like that.
when you have to ease in with your like 3 cups of coffees, and then you're like, I found the exact moment I shift to a different drug pretty well.
Respect. That's huge. Knowing that shift is big. I love the when I actually care about the show, and I'm just like, because like you're on the road so much, you can't like sacrifice your life forever. But it's like if it's a big show and I want to be up, I like a nice like 6 p.m. iced coffee. Like just like a little sip as you're getting ready. You're finishing it when when you're got to go on stage. It's just right. Carries you throughout the night, but then your fucking sleep is completely fucked up.
Oh, I
And
just had a
that's-
hot coffee. I just made hot coffee for this one right here.
But
and
you
it's-
drink
it's-
coffee in a way that I don't. I'm not a you drink coffee again.
You drink iced coffee in the winter?
But I just mean quantity. You drink coffee. But yes, I do. I'm a nice coffee guy.
Wow.
I like it. It scratches like a milkshake part of my brain. It's
Oh,
like
I hear
energy.
that.
It's like energy milkshake, even though I just drink it black now. But yeah. Anyway, enough shit and coffee talk. Although, you know what? It's a staple.
Is there
of
ever
this.
really enough? Yeah, I mean,
Everyone listening knows that we will never stop talking about that, especially as we get to the holidays and some of the best basketball happens. It also coincides with some of the most severe shits that happen during the holidays. So
Absolutely.
you'll be hearing plenty of that. But I will say that we do have a nice amount of stuff to talk about. This has been an eventful last few days of basketball, and I'm kind of regretful that we're not going to get, because after we record, but before this comes out, literally in like an hour and a half, the Lakers play the Pistons at 9:30.
wow.
That'll
And
be
Isaiah and LeBron are both back, right?
Isaiah and LeBron are both back. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think anything will happen, but watch our luck. It'll be like the biggest fucking brawl of all time. It's like he just like LeBron takes a fucking Rondo just like fucking brings a steel chair and hits Isaiah Stewart in the head. It just like becomes fucking
It'd
crazy.
be awesome if it went pure WWE. Like he went to shake LeBron's hand and then just fucking clotheslined him. A brawl breaks out.
It would be a kind of a shrewd move if LeBron is injured and he doesn't want people to know. how mortal he is, he should just sock him in the fucking head and get like a 30-game suspension.
But you don't get paid though if you get the suspension.
But you know what? Now you've turned your image. Now you're the fucking bad boy. Now you're the villain again. You get a little juice going your way, and people don't know that you still have that abdominal strain that's making you look.
Do you
like
think
shit.
he's? Do you think he's? Yeah, I mean he's had moments where he's looked pretty good, but
I don't think he's injured. I just think the team sucks dick, and he's 37, and there's only so much you can do. I mean, the game they played, I caught that game against where they played like fucking 3 overtimes against the Kings, and it was fucking pathetic. It was truly like they had a chance to win at all 3 overtimes. At the first 2 overtimes, LeBron tried to win it with like a weird like step back 3 for some reason. He wanted that move. I mean, old LeBron just goes.
He loves that step back 3.
He loves it, but old LeBron, if in that moment when you just really need a fucking bucket, he didn't need a 3. The games were tied. It was like you could have gotten a 2. That's when LeBron at this point in his career just puts his fucking head down and plays a little fucking bully ball and gets to the cup. Now I know it's overtime games and he's probably tired, but dude, the rest of the team was just fucking standing around, and it just like Russ. Well,
that's what happens with Russ. I mean, like
not just Russ, but dude, Anthony Davis has been absolute dog shit. I saw his shooting stats. I don't remember who put up this fucking thing.
I text you I talked about the 3-point shooting percentage, which is
dude, but it's not, and it's that's abysmal. But here, let me find it. I think it was Tom Haberstroh who put it up. It was. I mean, as much as we want to talk about Westbrook being horrible, and I think more than anything, he's a horrible fit.
Yeah, he's not a horrible player. I know one's saying he's a horrible player. It's just the contract and the fit.
Yeah, and it's really bad. But
I mean, he's still putting up insane numbers. It's just like he just does kind of what LeBron does way worse.
Yeah. No, and here's the other thing about the Lakers. Not just Anthony Davis sucking dick. Here's another thing Tom Haberstroh tweeted. Here's the most alarming part of the Lakers' 10 and 11 start. They've had the softest schedule defensively, and yet they rank 20th on that end of the floor. After tomorrow, they'll have played Houston twice, OKC twice, Detroit twice. Only team.
LeBron was out a lot of those games.
Yeah, but dude, you can't. Still, it's like you've played. You have the softest schedule defensively, and your defense just looks like absolute fucking dog shit. And yeah, he's missed 12, 13 games.
Who could they even bring in? I mean, it's interesting.
It's past that, bro.
But losing Caruso really hurts them defensively, just from just having that type of dude. Also, imagine if they got Gary Payton II on that, like a guy, just a guy like that who's hungry, who wants to play.
But would Gary Payton II even have been able to fucking do what he's doing now on the Lakers? It just seems like a little bit of fucking. Like that guy is only his offense is only acceptable because of how good Steph is, and on the Lakers his offense would be fucking horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've talked about it to death. I mean, I feel like we've talked about the Lakers so much in this podcast, but Westbrook is just not really that was just the wrong move, and it was a shiny move. It's like that's like a move you make as someone who doesn't know anything about basketball.
Absolutely.
It's like, because I have friends who don't really follow basketball that closely, and they're like, oh shit, Westbrook and Carmelo are Lakers? I'm like, it's not what you think. I have to be I have to explain that's not, it doesn't work. Melo has actually done really well for them, but defensively he was never a great defender, and he's old. And then you have Westbrook, who it would make zero sense next to LeBron if they were both in their prime.
Exactly.
I mean, you have to give Dwayne. It makes you realize how great Dwayne Wade was, because he was kind of a similar player to LeBron, and he really changed his game up. Dwayne Wade was doing amazing cuts to the basket. He was kind of deferring to LeBron. And he's a great, great defender. I mean, that's something I just don't think Westbrook is capable. He's never really been the 1B, as you said on a prior episode, in his mind at least. Yeah, in his mind.
Here's the stat I was looking for. Ready? Like you said, 16%. This is from StatMuse, not Tom Haberstroh. Sorry.
Yeah.
He this season 16.7 from 3, worst in NBA history by any player with 2+ attempts per game and 20 games played. He's 38.3% on mid range. Worst in the NBA by
crazy.
Worst in the NBA by any player with 100+ attempts. On jump shots, he's 33%, worst in the NBA by any player with 150 plus attempts. So his shooting is complete, and his overall field goal percentage is 50%, but that's only when you take into consideration looks right at the fucking, right at the cup. Otherwise, he's playing like a dog shit.
What do you make of it? I mean, why is he shooting so badly? Is part of it is like it doesn't make sense because you could blame their shooting, but like a guy like Melo's shooting well. So then explain that,
Yeah, I mean, I just think, who knows, dude? I mean, it's just like he may. I mean, the simplest solution when it comes to Anthony Davis is he's hurt, right? That's been the solution when he looks off his whole career, but I don't know.
But that's a
man.
bad excuse because at a certain point, like the dude's always hurt, kind of.
Yeah. No, I know.
It sucks because he really is like his talent is like he's kind of the closest thing to KG. You know?
in theory, yeah.
In theory,
and he's
not in mentality. I don't think.
Not in mentality,
but in talent,
and not in results for sure.
But he's a number 2 on the champion, so you got to give him that. I mean, KG carried a franchise. I'm not comparing them. KG carried the T-Wolves for a fucking decade.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony Davis' career is as impressive as KG's career. Like, it just. I mean, even his best. Like, even him being the number 2, he really just came alive in the bubble. Otherwise, he's never put up anything. I don't think he's ever had a season that comes close to KG's MVP season.
Well, let's look at his. I think numbers are inflated. He's playing in an era where numbers are inflated, but I do think his numbers are. And
I just mean like watching that Kings game, and again, you're right. We do talk about the Lakers a lot, so
you have to remember the T-Wolves never really went deep with KG, but he never had a great team.
When did Anthony Davis without LeBron? Never. He couldn't even get that team to the playoffs. He couldn't even get that team to the playoffs. He got the playoffs twice.
They weren't. They got
whooped by the fucking Warriors, and then they did play really well. They that was the time they swept.
Yeah,
the
but
Blazers.
you're knocking numbers. At 23 and 24, both seasons, he averages 28 a game, dude. 2.6 blocks a game.
I'm not
steals.
Dude, of course,
11 boards.
I'm comparing him to one of the greatest players. I'm just saying, like, in terms of consistency and overall impact and even his numbers. I mean, KG's numbers, probably his scoring numbers probably aren't as high, I don't think.
Definitely not as high as that. I mean, but KG would get you more assists. KG was a less. It's funny because it's like KG's mentality was more of the alpha and the scorer, but
yeah, like in his prime,
AD is a better scorer
for sure. I mean, definitely a better scorer. But
don't you think AD kind of defers a little bit? And I'm sure part of that is coming to play with LeBron. Like, how do you not?
Yeah. I think a little bit of that is LeBron, but I also think it's just general. I think it's being hurt all the time, and it's being more of a passive guy, and I don't know. We don't have to talk too much about the Lakers. I just think like
KG 24 game is his highest scoring season.
Yeah.
For 2003, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very deflated, But
he'd give you 5 assists too. I mean,
5 assists, 14 rebounds, and then his defensive, 2 blocks, steal and half. Although, AD has those numbers. I just mean maybe this is more just like, being like a fucking old school about it, but it's just like, it really is just a little bit of that mentality. I mean, KG, you always felt like KG would fucking rather kill himself than play bad. Like, you know what I mean? If they were like, and with Anthony Davis, it's like he's so skilled, and even on his good games, sometimes you look up. A lot of his good games are like, oh wow, he's got 24 in the third quarter.
Well,
like it's not like wow, he's fucking dominating. I don't know.
I kind of agree with you. It's kind of always been with AD, and he's a champion, so it's kind of feels crazy to say this, because he did do the job in LA. Winning a championship, it's like, okay, the experiment worked out.
And to his credit, it wasn't until the second half of that series. Like at the beginning of that series, people were like, is it going to be AD or LeBron that gets Finals MVP? He was playing that good that it was a conversation.
He hit the game winner on the Nuggets. I mean, he was clutch. He was great. Also, you can't really underrate when he's healthy. His defense is incredible. And you can't fault a guy for getting injured. But, I mean, you kind of sign a guy. Like, that is part of what you're signing for. You're like, fuck, he might get injured. Also, I got to say, I can't really – it's hard for me to see him on that 75 list ahead of Dwight Howard right now.
For sure not, yeah. I mean, I already said that Dwight Howard is like he's just very accomplished. And he's the best. He's the best center of his generation. Whatever you want to say about him, he is. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just that off and more than it's like, okay, if the Lakers defense isn't going to be good anymore because you got rid of that aspect of your fucking it's kind of the problem the Knicks are having where it's like, oh, we theoretically made offensive upgrades. Well, and sure our defense is going to suffer a little bit, but the offense will be good. That has really not happened with the fucking Lakers.
Well, the problem with the Knicks, is like, unfortunately, Fournier and Kemba are incredibly one-dimensional. When Fournier's rolling, it's fucking great. I love it. When Fournier's hitting shots, Kemba, I don't feel good about in the floor. I never really feel, and I really want him to improve. I love the guy. I really am rooting for him. But Fournier kind of has to work because we have him for 4 years. So we got to find a way to make him work.
I mean,
he's a great shooter. He's a great shooter. He is a crafty playmaker when he puts the ball on the floor, which is not often. He's not doing it a lot, which kind of bums me out because he finds little clever ways to score. He doesn't do it. He's kind of playing in a one-dimensional way, which bums me out because he's shown flashes of an ability to make passes or to, throw the oop to Mitchell, who also has been disappointing, or to and it got hurt. But yeah, it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I mean,
RJ is also underperformed, and I'm sure if RJ is playing better, that opens up Fournier's game.
Everyone but Julius is not
Julius
playing the way
and
you want
Rose. Even when Rose plays poorly, I'm confident when he's on the floor. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I was just talking starters, like everyone, all the starters except Julius, and I do want to talk about the Knicks in a second here. Let's conclude the Lakers talk with one question. Do you think Rob Pelinka should be executed? Do you think he should be tried for his crimes and murdered by firing squad outside of the newly minted crypto.com arena?
I think he's done a horrible job this offseason, and it's really mostly the Westbrook move. Like if he rolled the dice on DeRozan, it just makes more sense.
Dude, how about this? Because I feel like every week we do a different what the Lakers should have done. What if they traded for Kyle Lowry? And then DeRozan comes to play in the offseason, and it's like those two guys that love each other, and now
they make them likable,
and then it's like these guys have like teamed up with their former like oppressor. You know what I mean? It's like they were like if you can't beat them, join them. And the guy that used to fuck their asses every single playoffs, the guy who would give them nightmares, now they're just fucking on his team. That would have been fucking so fun. But
that would be a pretty
just another
amazing
way.
That would have been a pretty formidable team. And I mean, again, you have some defensive problems. Lowry's a good defender. I still worry about their defense a little bit, but
I mean, I'm just talking about.
It's a better story.
There's a thousand different ways they could have different iterations, and then you look at the Wizards, who we haven't talked about at all. I mean, I keep sort of waiting for them to fall off a little bit, but it's just like,
are they this good? Is this going to keep up?
I don't think they're this good. I don't think they're. What are they? Literally first in the East right now? No, they're third. They're tied. They're tied for a second with the Heat, but. I don't think they're this good, but I just think it shows you that, like, if you made the Westbrook deal in theory to get you through the regular season, like, the Wizards, just by having a fuck ton of, like, adding a fuck ton of solid players,
right,
are a better regular season team than the
team
with
you
Westbrook.
make a great point, right? The Lakers, and I don't want to keep talking about the Lakers for too long.
We're done after this. I do think should we kill Pelinka?
You make a.
Should we slit it?
Because the AD trade. I know, like, look, he's made a lot of bad moves, but it got him a ring. You can't kill him for that. You got to be grateful for the ring. I'm speaking as a fucking guy who would be grateful for just fucking one. But let me say this. I will say they hit the panic button because they lost to the Suns. And I don't think they would have lost to the Suns.
I don't think if they were healthy, they would have lost to the Suns.
If AD, and I'm not even saying they're a better team than the Suns, I just think it's a good matchup for them.
But that goes to show you, like, why the fuck. Anyway,
that's my whole point. If they keep Kuz,
right.
They keep KCP, they keep even Harold. You got, like, guys who kind of play physical and tough, and that is valuable because you don't have that anymore. So you keep
Yeah.
Caruso. You just bring back all the little
They fucked
pieces.
up. At the very least, they should have kept Caruso. They could have just gone into the luxury tax, and they're a fucking, their franchise is probably worth $5 billion. They could have afforded it.
Sure.
But anyway,
I think also it's like kind of like when the Knicks just didn't pay Jeremy Lin. That reminds me of the Caruso thing. It's like it's a fan favorite. He's worth this.
Yeah.
Just fucking
Dude, I think it's more.
You're
can I be
not
honest?
gonna pay a guy who's good for the team who the fans fucking adore.
And listen, I loved Linsanity. I was watching from afar. I wasn't adopted into the family yet.
Yeah.
That move, which they should have done, don't get me wrong, the Knicks absolutely should have brought him back. That move made more sense than not bringing
Sure,
back
because we
Caruso.
brought in Felton and Kidd.
Because
So at least
Caruso
we-
just played
Yeah.
perfectly with what they had. But anyway, fuck the Lakers.
I'm
It's
with you,
hilarious.
man.
It's hilarious to watch them start. I mean, they're straight up bad.
I want them in the playoffs just
yeah.
to make the playoffs interesting, but
They'll
it
always
is
be
fun to
LeBron
watch.
in the playoffs
It-
will always be interesting for sure.
But it is fun as hell watching them flounder. I got one for you. Warriors Lakers 1-8 seed.
Ooh, that made my titties jump. That would be fucking awesome.
It could happen.
It really could happen. Damn, the Lakers would have to play in. That's so fucking funny. They
did last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But because of injuries. Yeah, fuck. And I will. Okay. Let's talk about the Warriors because I just watched them shellac the Clippers, and as much as in denial and as much as I'm in hater mode, Steph is just full blown.
He's the MVP.
He's a fucking super villain again, dude. He's just like. He's so good.
To me, I'm just like, it's fucking great. I'm happy he's back, and like, I'll root against him next year. It's too nice, and I fucking love Draymond.
You can root for
man.
Clay,
All right.
but yeah.
How about Draymond Green? Steve Kerr calling him the best defender in the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
1
really
through
is.
5. He's
it really,
when he
it's
Draymond's
lining
a
up so
dude-
perfectly for those
But
cocksuckers.
Draymond is also a dude that like. He's not okay. So it's like a weird comp, but like the way J.R. Smith, if you put him on a bad team, do you know what I mean? Though when you put him on a good team, it's like he has superpowers.
It's funny how Nick-centric your worldview is.
But dude, but I'm actually talking about J.R. on the fucking Cavs. Is what I'm talking about.
Sure,
so it's not even a Knicks point,
but it is.
J.R. It is. It all comes back to my Knicks. But Draymond Green on a bad team, he's just not a very good scorer. He's an amazing playmaker. But it's like you don't want to be going 110 on D when your team fucking sucks.
No,
but when your team is balling, he's going 110.
Yeah, I mean, Draymond is in the absolute perfect. He got drafted into the perfect. Dude, there's a version of Draymond Green's career where he plays part of it in fucking Turkey. Like if he gets drafted by the wrong team, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and he likes those rules because they don't call fouls over there. And,
Oh, speaking of Turkey, I have to say, Enes Kanter has crossed over.
I thought you were gonna segue this into fucking Thanksgiving. I thought this was gonna go back to food.
No. Well, I mean, my views on Turkey are that it sucks dick, but that's neither here nor there.
Sure.
I have to say, Enes Kanter has just declared that he's changing his name. Did you see this? To
Enes Kanter Freedom.
Kanter Freedom. Suck.
And LeBron changed his name to LeBron James China.
Yeah,
That's what he did.
LeBron James Beijing. Let me say this about Enes Kanter. Suck my dick. It's too much. Now you're clearly doing this for attention. You're a fucking loser. You suck dick at basketball. It's over for you.
He doesn't suck dick at basketball.
He sucks dick at basketball. He's done.
Let me say something, brother.
He's cooked. He's
Let me
a
tell you
fucking
something, brother.
dog shit player, and now he's grasping at anything. And by the way, him trying to call out LeBron, it's like all this fucking like, oh, he doesn't say anything about fucking China. It's like, okay, man,
name a braver athlete playing right now than Enes Kanter?
A braver athlete?
Someone who is
brave? What is brave about what he's doing?
He's talking shit to dictators. He's fucking. I mean, he doesn't give a fuck. You're telling me Erdogan doesn't have guys that could have him killed?
I think he fucking would have if he did. I think he's on the list. I don't think he can get if Enes Kanter
his father was
disappears,
imprisoned. You're not telling me that his life has been affected
he
by
must
this?
not fuck with his fucking family, bro. That's what
not,
that tells me.
it's not true.
Dude, he's just running his. He's annoying. Changing his name to Freedom and then calling out LeBron. I think isn't he dating like a fucking Rockefeller or something? He's a fucking phony.
I think it might be a Rockefeller or
A Rothschild or some shit.
A Rothschild. Let me say this though, brother. Before you keep running your mouth, don't forget this all dates back, and you know I'm a Knicks-centric dude.
Enes Kanter,
but this dates back
Kanter,
to LeBron getting in young Frankie Smokes, Frankie Ntilikina's face, and what he fucking pushes him. And what does Enes Kanter do? He gets in his face and he fights, not just for Turkey, not just for his people, but for the Knicks fan base, brother. So if he wants to change his last name to Freedom, I'll fucking stand by it.
Okay, Portland Trailblazer center Enes Kanter is now dating Ariana Rockefeller, the great-granddaughter of oil tycoon.
Their family's never done anything bad to anyone.
Yeah, an industry magnate, John D. Rockefeller. That's like if LeBron, one of LeBron's sons got married to fucking Mao Zedong's great-granddaughter. That's like he's
There's
doing,
still time, baby.
It's like, what the fuck is he talking
Bronny,
about?
get on it, man.
The Blazers big man and Rockefeller have been seeing each other for months now. The pair first met through social media.
Blazer, so this is a dated article, brother.
Oh, okay, so it's dated. One of their common interests is animal rights advocacy. Oh, of course. Fucking, that's what rich people love is fucking. They skip past poor people and go straight to fucking dogs. Fucking dog. Oh my god. This is so fucking ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah, this is Blazers news, dude. I don't know if he's still dating her.
I believe he still is, but whatever. The point is he's a
First
fucking
off, dude,
phony.
don't
Freedom,
forget.
changing his name to Freedom is like,
It's a lot.
It's
a
too
lot.
much.
It's too much. I'm with you, dude. I was trying to hype up the listeners at home, but you're right. It's too much.
Yeah, and also, and no one. I mean, whatever. He just, it's like it just rings hollow in that he's looking for like talking points to exploit. But anyway, he's corny. He's bad at basketball now, and Freedom is just one step too much for me. It's too much.
Brother, I'll always remember when he had a 30 and 20 game against the Sixers on Christmas Day. So I can't ever speak to. I mean, hey, he fought valiantly. Look, is Embiid a better player? You're damn right, but he played his heart out. I always respect the way Enes Kanter played. I think he played physically. I think he's one of the best rebounders. I mean, he was like a guy who is fun to watch rebound.
It's just so funny to look at pictures of his fucking like girlfriend with her fucking great-grand, they have pictures of her with her grandfather, and this guy just looks like he has like poor children's blood plasma for like lunch to keep him alive. He's he's like a crypt of a. He looks like the crypt keeper.
Can you at least admit that Ennis was fucking cool on the Knicks?
No, fuck him.
What?
Freedom is too much.
That guy was a rebound. That guy
he didn't come on the show.
That guy rebounded
we asked
better
him to come
than
on the
Pete Davidson,
show,
brother.
And he blew us off.
He did blow us off.
He blew so he can suck
but
my fucking dick.
Let's be real. You know that.
Listen,
You know that they were like, do not do this show.
Listen,
these guys are going to ask you to whip out your anus.
Ron Baker did the show. The fucking Baker's dozen. Our boy did the fucking
He's a
show.
good guy. I like that guy.
Yeah, he was cool. See, that's what
and
I'm saying.
that guy played tough, too. I always respected that guy.
Yeah. So if Ennis if he had just done People Talking Sports, what was it at this point, 4 years ago, then that motherfucker would be good. Now he's got the PDL fucking negative bump to worry about. We're a power player in this media landscape, Sam, and
I'll never speak poorly about him. But I always thought
he's
he was
a corny bitch for changing his name to Freedom. That's all I have to say. On the day he became an American citizen. America, the country that's never interfered with democracy in the world ever. The CIA's never done anything bad to any other fucking country.
I do think it's weird to change your last name to something that like they would have put on a jersey in the bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just weird. It's like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward's last name is now All Lives.
Yeah. Gordon Hayward, All Lives Matter. All one word. Anyway. Sorry, that was a digression. I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about before. But I just said, speaking of Turkey. Oh, the Warriors, whatever. I just wanted to say, Steph looks really fucking good, and it's all lining up for them. And our only hope, and he did this thing where the ref teed him up because there was a no call, and Steph just made.
That was a fucked up no call.
I think I think that was poor sportsmanship on his part, disrespecting the officials who are just out there doing their best, Sam. Nobody's
what? I don't
perfect.
like that. I don't like that we've been podcasting for fucking 45 minutes and you haven't even brought up that the Knicks took down the villainous Atlanta Hawks. Well, you took your sweet ass time, brother.
I'm shocked you didn't fucking bring it up. I just want to say, we'll talk about the vanquishing of Baby Nuts, but I will just say everything's lining up for them. Otto Porter continues to look as perfect as he possibly could have for them. Steph is, like, again, super villain status, just insane, shooting over 50% from three in these games, just like out of fucking control. I
don't like how much. Sorry, go ahead.
So, and the Suns, who we haven't talked very much about,
are on fire.
They're on fire, but
they're the hottest team in the NBA.
They've played a pretty soft schedule, let's be honest.
What did they win? Fucking 14 straight or something?
They played a lot of dog shit teams, and they played They played the Mavs without Luka. They played the Nuggets without.
Still got to win those games, though.
Yeah, and they just beat Brooklyn. I give them credit for that. And listen, big
Harden
circle.
Harden did not look.
Harden's
great.
looking like dog shit. But as bad as Harden looks, the Nets are still number one in the East. So what are you gonna do?
I know. So wait till imagine. It's amazing that KD. KD is number 2 in the MVP to me. It's Steph and then KD.
Yeah, I agree. Brooklyn is like, it's just like everything is you gravitate towards the negative shit about them. But despite all that negativity, despite the Kyrie debacle, despite James Harden looking weird, despite some of their big men looking a little cooked, and Nick Claxton not really playing and all this shit, they're still number one, right? So it's like,
and they're still like, let me tell you, man, even Harden who's off in the playoffs as a number 2, possibly number 3 if Kyrie gets fucking vaxxed.
I don't think that's gonna happen. And it doesn't seem like we're going to beat it. Although, you never know. By fucking June, if we can beat it by the playoffs. Who knows?
I don't know, man.
Who knows what fucking Eric Adams will fucking do in the new year.
Dude, I will say.
But Tuesday, what I wanted to say, Tuesday, the Nets, or I'm sorry, the Warriors play the Suns. And the Suns will have that streak going into that game. And, I'll be the Warriors themselves have a fucking seven game win streak.
And it's going to be a great game. That's must-see TV.
Yeah, my dick is absolutely double plump.
I want to talk about the Knicks.
Let's talk about the Knicks fucking up little Baby Nuts over there.
I'll tell you though, that guy fucking he torched us again.
He did.
Randall played like shit. What really bugs me about the Hawks, and
tell me,
Capella
brother.
And Trae Young just have our number. Capella really just fucking owns us, and it's because we Nerlens in general is
not
just
not thick enough for Capella. Yeah.
He's not. And then
Mitch has just not looked that good this season.
I'm worried about him, man. I'm fucking worried.
I don't think he's coming back next year, bro. I got to tell you that much. He'll get
what are you gonna do? It's our other young guy. Jericho Sims is showing some fun flashes. He's athletic. I'm enjoying him. The young guys look really fun. I do think, I got to give props. I was shitting on him all early season, so I got to keep it fair. Alec Burks is looking like a fucking cold killer.
Yeah,
he put on the Alec Burks show in the third quarter.
He did.
Evan Fournier.
Fournier had a good one. Yep.
Fournier
had 20 that game.
He had that bad game against Chicago, but otherwise he's been fucking kind of lights out late in the last few games. So I hope he just keeps it up. It's really just like, can he stay on the floor? It's like, Chicago game, he was 1 of 7, 3 points. Played 23 minutes. That's a rough. He has those Allen Houston stat lines. So if he's not giving, Houston used to always put up those 22 and 2, 23 1 and 1 lines.
Yeah.
So it's like you need him to fucking, when he's doing that, it's like, look at this. He's averaging 13 a game. He's shooting 41 from the field. It ain't good enough, dude.
Shit, brother.
1.8 assists. Give me 2.5 to 3 assists a game. and give me at least 16 points out of Fournier. We need at least 16.
Yeah.
You know,
I will say
19
RJ
was-
looked pretty nice. He had a solid
Yeah,
game.
but his consistency's another. Like the problem is, our only consistent player is Julius. He played like dog shit against the.
He played really
against
bad,
the
yeah.
Hawks, a team you'd kind of like to see him play well against after last season's end, how he went out. You're right. RJ looked pretty good. His 3-point percentage is way down. It's weird. You'd think that RJ and Julius, like you'd think the 3-point percentage would like stay up, but because we get more open looks, but it's like.
But also, offense is way down across the league this year. I think defense is like they're letting defenders get a little, get away with a little more, and there just seems to be something going around.
Which part of me is like, did we fuck up paying Fournier and not a guy who just played? I mean, of course, yeah, we overpaid him. We thought that wouldn't happen, but like when you get a guy, like think about the values of guys like a Marcus Smart type, the guys who just fucking bully you. Those guys are valuable right now.
Yeah, I mean, if the league is, but I mean, I also think maybe what the league is doing is they're instituting these new rules. They're going defense heavy, and I think it'll normalize a little bit. I think it'll get back to.
I hope so. Fournier
also
is just,
think
I'm really rooting for him. He's a Knick for the next probably the next 4 years. So let's really
do we have a team option, or does he have a player option on the third year?
I'm not actually sure.
But yeah, either way, we need that motherfucker to be playing good.
It's just a lot of money for a guy who just you expect more.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I also just watched the Bucks play the Pacers. Dude, the Bucks are looking good too. It's coming together. 7 wins in a row.
They just signed
Boogie
DeMarcus Cousins.
Which,
how do you feel about that?
I'm of two minds. I think if they signed him because the Brook Lopez back injury is worse than they're saying, that's a bad sign. But I also think...
But that also could be a smart move.
But I mean, it's a smart move. I don't know who really was even out there. I don't think there were any other free agent like bigs. So I hope he has something left in the tank. I'm a huge Boogie fan.
Yeah.
But he really did not. The last time we saw him, he was not with the Clippers. He was not looking that good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know who's even fucking out there. Otherwise, I don't think anyone. So I don't think anyone with even any kind of established pedigree. But as long as Brook can be back, I'm a little scared because they haven't been talking about it that much. The last time they updated his status was a full 9 days ago. Over a week ago, they said he's eyeing a return soon, and it's been over a week and they haven't said shit about it, which I don't like. So that scares me a little bit because I think Brook being Brook is a big key to the Bucks'
their defense and their offense. Honestly, him like there was a couple series last year where he had a couple big games.
He did, and he can come.
And his
he's got
post-game
that pedigree, right? Where he used to be the number one guy on his team. He sort of can flash into that, tap into that kind of DNA every once in a while.
And he's got a little baby hook. He's got like a little bit of a post game. He's developed a three. He's just kind of turned into a very, very good all around player.
Yeah. So I'm a little worried about that, but I will say
the Bucks are going to be a problem again. I mean, there's no
they're
denying it.
rolling right now. They got getting Middleton back 7 games in a row. So
I think it's really between them and the Nets, unless somehow the Sixers can get Simmons to play nice. But right now the Sixers are not looking too hot. I know they've had injuries, but what is going to happen with Ben Simmons? Like, what the fuck?
I don't fucking know.
This is getting weird. It's getting to a point where I'm like, how much money is this guy going to lose?
Yeah, have they published how much they're fining him, or is he getting fined? I don't know.
I'll tell you. Can I tell you a new segment? Something that's really pissing Sam off.
Yeah.
It's
is
a quick one.
Is that what
It's
the
a quick
segment
one.
name is?
Yeah, it's a really
Something
quick
that's
one.
pissing Sam off.
The Magic have 4 wins and 2 of them against the Knicks, and they're both at the Garden.
Oh, that's brutal. Fucking yeah, because we beat them in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah,
that's that whole segment?
Yeah, it's over. Dude,
pissing Sam off. He's fucking pissed off.
Yeah, the East is weird, man. I don't know. I mean, I think
it's
everyone's
settling.
kind of becoming. Everyone's kind of becoming who we thought they were. I'd like to see the fucking Hornets fall off a little bit, but
Can I be honest? I don't think it's that weird. I think it's settling in, and I unfortunately see the Knicks as kind of like, I don't know that they're not in that top 6 for sure, which is what I thought before. I think we're going to be the playing Knicks. I said they're not.
I know, but you think for sure they're not going to be in the top 6 this year?
I had them in there going into the season, and I'm dropping them out of there. I've removed the certainty.
The Wizards ain't keeping it up, brother.
The Wizards have been playing good, and Bradley Beal has not been playing good. That's for the first time ever.
Maybe this is the year he falls off.
Yeah, you think that's more realistic than the Knicks just kind of fucked up their offseason and Kemba's cooked and our defense is gone and we still don't have a crunch time scorer.
I hope we make a fucking move.
What's the move? You tell me what move is out there for us to make.
I haven't decided yet. The Bulls scare me. Obviously, I was wrong about the Bulls. There's no denying it. They're a good team.
Yeah.
I wish we signed Lonzo Ball.
I
think we're better than the Hornets, and I think the Wizards will fall off a little bit. I think we're top 6. I think the Hawks are better than these teams too.
I think the Hawks are. I believe, just looking at pure talent on the roster, the Hawks I believe in them making the leap up to top 6 more than us, unfortunately. And I think I'm sorry. I'm not rooting for it. I'm against baby nuts. I'd love to see Trae Young completely shaved from the top of his. I don't
believe in the Cavs or the Celtics either.
No,
honestly,
no.
But yeah, I think honestly the top 8 is kind of what it's going to be. But I think teams are going to scramble around a little.
And then
holy shit, are the Sixers not making the playoffs? That doesn't.
Well, that's the other
right.
thing. I don't think this. Yeah, I think the Sixers one way or another will get at least into the play-in mix, and it's like. I don't know, man. I'd love to see the Wizards fall, but they're pretty deep, and they got
Why can't the Knicks figure it out? What the fuck?
It's just a talent thing, man. Even
the
games we win are ugly.
I'm mad at Fournier for cock teasing us with that first opening.
He really cock teased us, dude.
He took us out.
He took us out.
We both were not happy about that signing, and then after the home opener, we were both rock hard. Like, fuck, man. Dude, I was like talking about maybe getting a jersey. Do you know how fucking... It was like I went on one good date with a girl, and I was like, dude, she's it. She's the one.
Fournier took you out. He wined and dined you. You were fucking drinking fucking champagne with the view of the Eiffel Tower. He's got expensive brie. He's slicing it off, feeding it to you.
And then I just call you. I'm like, he never called.
Yeah, yeah. He dicked you. He raw dogged you, and then he just... You called his number the next day. You were blocked. The bubbles turned green the next morning, and you're like, Evan, what's wrong? You messaged him on Instagram. You're like, I think someone might have stolen your phone, Evan, and then you just blocked off Instagram.
Brutal.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that Fournier figures it out. He's too good a shooter not to figure it out. I think.
The path to the Knicks turning it around is mostly just. The starters play better, and Kemba's not cooked, and I think Kemba is cooked, at least as an NBA starter. I think he could still become a microwave scorer, or I think honestly, best case scenario, we have a 4-guard rotation, and he's just at the bottom of it. That's really what I think Kemba's best.
Get Emmanuel the starting job, man.
Well, but you see, dude, Tibbs hates playing young guys. I mean, how long did it take quickly to get minutes last year? When he was cooking. And even this time, look, Burks went off. I'm not doubting him, but when both Rose in this Atlanta game
I love when Burks is cooking because that puts a little pressure on Fournier. It's like, dude, this ain't your job. You could lose your job. Burks started like dog shit, but we all know the guy's got fucking balls to steel. Like, he will shoot whatever. He plays better D than Fournier. If he gets hot, I'm sorry, Fournier. Like, you're coming off the bench, bro.
Well,
you gotta up your game. We want you to be that guy. We're rooting for you. New York wants Fournier to be that guy.
It's a little tough though when you sign this guy and you're like, all right, well, I agree with the like.
Well, we signed Burks too. I mean, why aren't we gonna play the guy who's playing better?
You signed. I just think the Tibbs school of thought. I understand it theoretically and like. fucking you earn everything here. No fucking handouts, no nothing. But
Yeah.
maybe you might want to coax the guy who's making fucking 72 mil who you're fucking in bed with for the next 3 years minimum for 20 million a year. Maybe you don't want him fucking looking over his shoulder 3 weeks into his fucking contract. And
I know, but Fournier is he's too good a player to not know that he's not given enough right now. He's got to know.
Man. I don't fucking know. Either way,
And I'm sure right now.
I'm
even
just
when
having a hard time.
Problem is though, even when Julius plays badly, he's still a threat. He can still give you 10 boards and assists as well. So even when that's the value of Julius. We see the value in Julius. We need the other starters to fucking be consistent, motherfuckers.
I just don't
fucking step the shit up. Let's go.
I agree, but I see the path. Look, the path to the Hawks getting better is very clear in my mind. The path to the Hornets continuing to be good is still pretty clear in my mind. Even though they have holes, they're an ascendant team with young guys that are starting to put it together. Even the Celtics, that I don't think are better than us, I see the path. What is the argument for the Knicks getting better than this? I think the Knicks are a play-in team this year.
What do you mean, what is the argument?
Tell me, what the fuck happens?
All right, I'll tell you.
Tell me right now.
Why don't you shut your fucking hole? Speaking about holes, motherfucker, why don't you shut your hole and listen for once in your life?
Okay, let's hear it,
All
you
right,
fucking piece of shit.
I got you.
Go ahead.
Number one, RJ Barrett being more consistent, which he absolutely can do. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two,
one
Evan
player's got to play
Fournier.
much better.
Evan Fournier being more consistent.
Two players have to play much better.
Our second and third best player. I mean, right now it's
Fournier,
Rose.
you fucking popped him up to 3.
Fournier should be set 2 or 3. In terms of what we're paying people.
Has he ever proved it in his life? Has that fucking French piece of shit ever been a fucking? Has he ever been a fucking difference maker?
I said highly by when you insulted Ennis Cantor, a former Knick. I will not stand by when you do it again here.
A man who's been Knick for 16 games and he's been a wild disappointment for 15 of them. Yeah, I can't disrespect him.
13. He's given like 3 or 4 good games. Let me tell you something, brother. You think I'm not hurt by this Fournier shit? I've been fleeced too.
I know you.
We've all been fleeced.
I'm just saying everything that needs to happen for the Knicks.
I DM'd him after the first game, thanking him. I said, thank you for restoring glory to the Garden. I wish I could unsend it.
You can unsend.
I can?
You can unsend.
I'll look into it.
Has he seen it yet? Is it?
I don't know. I haven't
marked
checked.
seen? You gotta check. Because he probably then if he left you on red, that's tough.
I mean, he left his whole fucking team on red,
He
brother.
did. He definitely did. I'm just saying, man, it's looking a little dicey. Well, the path, there's way more hope and prayer to the Knicks' path to getting better than there are for all the other teams that are underachieving right now.
I disagree.
That's all I'm saying.
We're underachieving too.
Motherfucker, I'm telling you, the Hawks are underachieving. The Celtics are underachieving. The Sixers are. Out of all those teams, there's at least a logical path to them getting better. I mean, the Celtics are a mess too. I don't believe in the Celtics, but I'm just saying, man, there's a lot that needs to be done for the Knicks. And when the solution isn't like a tactical move, it's 3 players have to play much, much better. It's like, that's a tough sell. That's a tough sell. And it's more than 3, honestly. That's just the starters. I mean, other than Quickly.
I think our bench has been excellent. I think Obi and Quickly and Rose.
Obi needs to play more. But that's the problem.
Quickly
some of these
and
problems aren't going to get solved because Tibbs doesn't rely on young guys. He'll fucking keep throwing the calcified bones of Kemba Walker out there, bro. He will. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it worries me. Well, you know what? It's not all fun and games when your job is on the line. So Tibbs got to you got to deliver wins, brother.
That's what. You hear that? That's you putting that's what you putting the burner on low. It's not. You're not ready to cook anything yet, but you're just.
No, I love Tibbs.
You're just checking the pilot light. That's it.
Problem is, last year was all a pleasant surprise. This year there were expectations,
Right.
and I'm not saying I don't expect us to win the East, but we have the weapons to be a really dangerous team, and I think offensively we should be. And I think a lot of it.
I don't think we do.
I do. I disagree. I think if you move Kemba out of the starting 5 and you start Rose, this is a dangerous starting 5.
I suppose. but it's.
I think it is. The problem is you can't play Kemba alongside Fournier. They're too bad defensively, and when they're not giving you offense, it's Rose will play D. He's not a great defender, but he will play D. That is more than Kemba gives you.
He stinks. I'm with you. Kemba's cooked. Look,
you need to start Rose.
this is why. You know what? As fun as it was for the Knicks to be good, it is awesome to watch you lose your mind when they suck. It is fun. It is fun to rile you up a little bit here. Let's keep it going. Let's move around the league.
Start Rose.
I'll tell Tibbs personally. Let's move around the league a little bit. There's a couple teams I want to show a little love to.
Fuck you.
Look, man, we got to keep. We're doing this is a national NBA podcast, you know. John, this is from our Patreon. There was some comments here. This is from John Teason, who says, "If we don't get half an episode on that Wolves Heat game, I will kill myself. No Pat Bev, half a game without Cat. Ant is going to have those half Canadian saying Atlanta slang within the year. D'Lo can play defense now. This is the weirdest shit ever." Well, John, prepare the noose, because you're not getting a half episode out of that shit. But I will say, it'll be sad to see you go. But I do want to say the Timberwolves, after looking kind of rough there for a second, I really like what's going on.
I think both of us had a similar prediction that they are at least a play-in team.
I've been rooting for them, yeah, and they.
Me too. I want Cat to succeed. Anthony Edwards has been fun as shit. D'Lo D'Lo looks like it makes more sense. This is kind of a fun. Cat is a dude I just want to be happy. I just want that dude to be happy.
Yeah, and they just beat the Sixers. Embiid came back and he fucking put up a gem, but they still beat the Sixers. I mean, that's big for the Timberwolves. That's big for
Anthony
Cat,
Edwards
frankly.
Is having a fucking monster
and
season.
Anthony Edwards
too.
is so good, dude, that like I think there's enough kind of rumblings out there where it's like maybe it's time to just rebuild around him. Maybe it's just time
Towns and Edwards, you mean?
Dude, I think we're at the point where maybe trade Cat is on the table if you can get a lot for him.
Do you see how well Cat is playing? Why would you trade him?
Because his trade value is really high, and he might just want to leave anyway. That's why.
Karl Anthony Towns,
Edwards is looking
New York
better than
in a fucking second, brother.
There we go.
At Towns next to Randall, two big men just fucking owning you.
What would
from
you trade?
three.
Okay, what would you trade for Cat?
Kemba and look, don't fucking make me choose between my children.
You're such a fucking asshole.
All right, let me say this: Towns is shooting 44 from three.
Randall wouldn't. They wouldn't want Randall, but RJ would probably have to go. I hate to say it. Maybe
I love RJ. I still believe in him.
I'm just saying to make the fucking trade work, bozo.
Would you want Randall next to Towns? Do you think it would work?
Yeah.
I worry about our rim protection.
That is tough. But anyway.
Offensively, it's like, what do you do, brother? Yeah. When fucking Randall and Karl Anthony Towns run wild.
The crazed fucking delight in your eyes right now. It really is. Like, I've seen you drunk. I haven't seen you on too many drugs. I've seen you drunk. But I have never seen. We've shared a fucking delicious meal together. I've never seen the kind of hunger in your eyes that I see. This delirious fucking hunger in your eyes. You're just lighting up right now.
Why doesn't Towns want to be in the East?
He's from Jersey. Leon Rose used to be his agent. It's a lot of,
I've wanted him on the Knicks for a long time, dude.
Anyway, it's so funny. I was like, we got to stop talking about the Knicks. Let's talk about the T-Wolves. And then within 1 second, we're like, Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks. But they are playing really good. And
problem is the Wolves have like a kind of a fun nucleus.
Yeah, dude, I love Anthony Edwards. The way this kid fucking yams on people and his comment, he's such a great personality, and it's just like
he's great.
It's so fucking nice to have someone who's like an interesting guy and who just like, he believes in himself. And right now they're in the seventh. They're the 7th seed, and I don't know.
Yeah, but you got to think the Nuggets are going to put it together. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, dude, that's the other thing I want to say about the Nuggets. They have bad, horrible luck, dude. MPJ might not play again this fucking season. Like, that's crazy. His back is that fucked. And
Terrible.
and
I mean, that was a concern. I mean, that's why teams passed on him and he went 14th in the draft because his talent was like everyone said top 5. He had that ability.
And for this to happen as soon as fucking, as soon as they sign him to that fucking huge max contract. I mean, this is the kind of shit that could completely fucking submarine a franchise. I hate to say it.
Well, it's terrible because with a healthy MPJ, with Aaron Gordon, and with a healthy Jamal Murray, you're like, how does that team not win a ring?
Exactly. They
at least some point.
They position themselves to be a perennial contender, and right now, I think with Jamal Murray coming back, they could still contend. But it's like, damn, all the from what they're the best case scenario for this team was MPJ. I mean, people were talking about MPJ for most improved player because he was.
Well, maybe he still comes back. You don't. I mean, that's the thing. Is he was looking. He might have been in pain before this because he was struggling to start the season.
Exactly. No, but that's what I'm saying is that and from every report, it's that I've seen indefinitely. I've seen for the foreseeable future. All this kind of fucking shit. I don't know. It's tough, man. And Jamal, I don't know. And then PJ Dozier got hurt too. It's just tough. They are absolute. They're just the luck is just so bad for them, and it sucks because, like you said, they've positioned themselves to be, and it's homegrown. It's it's everything you want out of sports, and it's they might just be fucked, dude. They really just might be fucked, and.
It sucks. And you're right. It is cool to see teams do it the way they've done it. I mean, Jokic is a second-round pick. Murray was, I believe, a later pick, right? I mean, you have MPJ's a 14th
still in the
pick.
lottery, I think.
Probably, but I mean, late lottery.
Not top 5.
MPJ is 14, I believe. So I mean, you're right. I mean,
and the Gordon trade was a good trade. It's just it sucks. I mean, it really does for that team.
He was picked 7th. I was wrong. You're right about that.
But. Yeah, I mean, I do think. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The West is so up in the air because, I mean, obviously, I think the Lakers are at least going to make the fucking play-in. As much slander as I like to do, and it's the Kings. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the fucking Kings, and everybody else is a joke after that. The Rockets, by the way, they got to start playing John Wall, man. They're so bad.
What the fuck is going on? What are they doing?
They're so bad that
why won't they play? And he wants to play. What are they doing? At least play him so maybe you could trade him somewhere or something.
I don't think they'll be able to trade him because he's not taking a buyout. But I think here's the other thing. When you have young players,
but maybe he gets fucking miserable there and takes a buyout. I would sign him in a second. I would love him in New York.
I know you would, bro. He would be great. But I think also they're fucking up because John Wall's a fucking really good point guard. He's a great, especially when you have these young big men on this team, you
Great
want
passer.
a real point guard to be able to fucking set them up.
A true point guard, a traditional one.
Sengun, I mean, I know he's you want the offense to run through him, but you can't tell me that's not going to help his development without John Wall there. Even Jalen Green, it seems like they have a good, relationship, but it's just he could really help these guys just kind of by setting them up a little bit.
I don't understand how this all happened. Why is this so bad?
I think it's the classic, okay, it's kind of like a more low impact version of the Ben Simmons thing where I think he was all right, he was hey, I'd like to be traded. They're hey, we can't play you that much. We want to lose games. He's okay, well, I like to be traded. And they're okay, well, we're going to work on trading you. And until then, you might as well just sit. And
By the way, I thought tanking was illegal.
Well, that's what's weird about. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's illegal.
I think you're not allowed to tank on purpose. So that's why I don't get about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird because it's but last year you saw it with. Well, I mean, they're still theoretically trying to win games.
He played last year. He
well, last year you saw it with Al Horford. The Thunder just did that the second half of the year. But this is weird because it's not even the second half of the year. They're not even let's try, because it's here's the thing, Rockets, you're not going to be good with John Wall. You're not going to win a bunch of fucking games just because John Wall's playing.
It's it's major league though. What are we doing?
Yeah. So I'm hopeful John Wall will play because he's a fucking,
It's also kind of insulting to Eric Gordon, who's also like a veteran, and they're like, "We'll play you."
I think they can trade Eric Gordon. I mean, I know his contract's bad, but it's not John Wall bad. And if he plays,
I remember
really
they
well,
signed Eric Gordon, and I think Ryan Anderson in the same offseason, and I think Anderson got like $80 million. Remember that shit?
Anderson got a really big contract, but then they were able to flip it for something. I don't remember. Was it part of the Chris Paul trade or something?
I don't know.
But it ended up being useful, I remember, but I don't remember how. But anyway, fuck the Rockets, fuck Tillman Fertitta. You got to play John Wall. It's fucking bullshit. And go Wolves. How about that? We're still rooting for the Timberwolves.
Go Knicks.
And of course, go Knicks. The baby nutted villain, we got his ass. We're looking forward to the next rematch. When is he playing in MSG? We should fucking go to that game if we're here. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for listening. Oh, let me read some fucking reviews.
Oh, dude, by the way, Charlotte Comedy Zone this weekend and Miami Improv and Addison Improv in Dallas all in December, brother. Come see me on the road. samuel.com/shows.
I love it. Yes, and I am going to be at the Irvine Improv 1 week from today. I'll be warming up. It's my last show before my special, so come out and fucking see that. Let's fucking look up some reviews here. So let's see if we have any new ones for the podcast. Here we go. From the bench to Infidelity All-Star. That's what I like to hear. I've been having trouble in the bedroom until I started the dialogue with my girlfriend, listening every week to Pod Don't Lie. Yeah, you was starting the dialogue, brother.
Respect.
I can now clap cheeks for hours. I'm putting up numbers second only to King Julius. Thank you, Sam and Stav. And if any Net fans read this 5-star review, Gamoto Keratosu Faga Megiro with extra Tzatziki de Malaka. The freak is next up. Peace. That was a lot of cursing in Greek, so respect to that.
I love it.
And what's his name? The Inglorious Baller. This is from Tony Lamone, who says, "Love the show. Drop episodes more frequently, please. Huge nuts." I think that was it for any new. I think that was the only new reviews. So keep the new reviews coming, guys. We appreciate them. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, we read the last ones before. So we thank you so much for listening, and we will be back with a Patreon episode later this week. And, of course, we'll be back with another fresh one sometime again next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.